Do you know when a woman gets married and gives birth to a baby boy, she automatically becomes a potential mother-in-law? I'm not done. Hold on. Then, when she gives birth to another baby boy, she becomes a mother-in-law plus. Now, if you desire to be a good mother-in-law, then this video is for you. My name is Sandra Ezeji Anyaele. I am your marriage foundation coach. As always, I want to welcome all those that are new to my YouTube channel, and I want to say thank you to my returning subscribers. In today's video, we are going to talk about 3 things that will help you to avoid being a bad mother-in-law. Yes, you can agree with me that a lot of times people complain about mother-in-laws, how wicked they are, how intolerant they can be. In fact, mother-in-law case has been overrated. But in today's video, I'm going to help you to understand that as a prospective mother-in-law, you are in the line of changing the narrative. I am also included because I have boys. So I am also a potential mother-in-law. It could also be said that I am a mother-in-law plus because I'm going to have more than one daughter-in-law. You know, a lot of times people think that being a mother-in-law is something that you grow with, or being a mother-in-law means that when you get married to a man, automatically the mother becomes a bad mother-in-law. No, it doesn't work like that. I am going to tell you 3 areas that we are going to consider in order to be a good mother-in-law. Because if we want to become good mother-in-laws, we are going to start now. The first thing I want us to consider is what I call change your thought pattern. Or putting it the other way around, change your perspective, even as you prepare to be a good mother-in-law. What do I mean by changing your thought pattern? Some people, just because a girl is from a particular tribe, they condemn the person. They have not dealt with this person. The person has not lived with them. The person has not even been married into the family. They automatically, immediately, make mention of where this person comes from. They say that this person is not good for their son. Another thing is, maybe your son wants to get married to a lady who is short or average in height, and your son probably is tall. And you now say your son will not marry a short girl, because you heard that short people are always antagonistic. Changing the thought pattern means that you are going to, have an open mind. When you have an open mind, it will help you to understand that everybody is different. The fact that this person came from a particular place does not make this person bad. Or the fact that you heard that where she comes from, they are bad people, does not mean that this person is also bad. You will not say because your mother-in-law dealt with you in a bad way, you now carry it over as if the person your child got married to is a victim. I am saying this because if we continue dwelling on that, we are not going anywhere. So that change that we are looking for, that change we yearn for, starts with us. It begins with us. Then the second thing I want you to consider also is choose what you listen to and process it before you use it. This takes me to what we call peer pressure. People think that peer pressure is only for youth. No, it is not. We also have adult pressure, a situation where as adults you don't make your own decision. It's what your co-adults tell you to do that you do, or you want to please them because you people, as it were, you belong to a clique. Let me just quickly give you an example. Maybe a friend of yours has a son that got married, and because this friend of yours got married to a particular lady and she comes to tell you that this is how she deals with her daughter-in-law, immediately you copy it. Immediately you tell yourself, as soon as my own son gets married, I will do the same thing. Or when my own daughter-in-law comes, I will follow the pattern of this my friend. But I tell you, if you do that or if you copy that, you are not being fair to yourself, because that your friend, the son, is entirely different from your own son. And obviously, the training you've given to your own son might be entirely different from that of your friends. That's just the truth. So let us not assume that our friends or our family members or even our colleagues are doing the right thing. Because they are maltreating their daughter-in-laws and they are getting away with it, does not mean that you will also maltreat your own daughter-in-law and get away with it. And again, if you want to change the narrative, ask yourself, what my mother-in-law did to me, assuming your own mother-in-law was not good to you. Did I like it? If you did not like it, so please don't repeat it. That is what we are saying. You don't repeat what is bad. So every time we'll be saying, mother-in-law this, mother-in-law that. Who are these mother-in-laws? Did they fall from tree? They are human beings that nurture their children, from infancy to adulthood, and they got married. That is exactly what we are doing right now. We are nurturing our children. Tomorrow they will become full-fledged adults and they will get married. So we are all potential mother-in-laws. And as potential mother-in-laws, we are more equipped to change the narrative. The change we've been talking about starts with you and I. So I beckon on all mothers that have boys. Please train your children in such a way that they will understand that your daughter-in-laws will be first your daughter before becoming your daughter-in-law, because that is my prayer. As a matter of fact, I've been begging God daily. I say, if at a particular time in your life, there's something that will happen and you change from who you are, please God, I don't want that. I want my daughter-in-laws to enjoy me, and I also want to enjoy them. That is what I yearn for. That is what I'm praying for. And on my part, I have made up my mind to be the best that I can be to my daughter-in-laws. It is not when my children get married that I will start becoming a good mother-in-law. No, I am already training myself. I am on the waiting list already. I can't wait to hug my daughter-in-laws. That is just the truth. I am saying this from my heart. So I implore you to have the same mindset. Your daughter-in-law should be first your daughters before in-law. Take them as your daughters. If you take them as your daughters, definitely they will take you as their mother. That is how it goes. And let me remind you, do you know that when your daughter-in-law comes, you are the first to show love? Yes, because when you accept this, your daughter-in-law, within herself, she knows that I've been accepted into this family. My mother-in-law has accepted me. And because you welcomed her well with open arms, there is no way she will not reciprocate. That is just the truth. This brings us to the third and the final point, and that is plan your retirement. What did I say? Plan your retirement. This is so funny. Yes, it's so funny because sometimes parents think that because they have trained their children, it behoves on the children to take care of them exactly the way they train them. No, let me remind you, it is your responsibility. You are obliged to train these children because you gave birth to them. God has given you those children, and it is your duty to take care of these children. They didn't ask you to give birth to them. Or are you doing trade by barter with your children? I am not ruling out the fact that your children will, render help when the time comes. But what I'm saying is that one of the reasons why mother-in-laws are on the neck of their daughter-in-laws is because they have trained their children, because they say they have sold their wrappers, because they say they hawked this and hawked that, because they say they sold lands, because they say they have sold buildings, because they say they have done all manner of things. Now they are solely dependent on their children to the extent that when the daughter-in-laws come in, they are now telling the daughter-in-law, you are not supposed to be doing this because do you know how I suffered to train my son? To me, that is quite unfair. Plan your retirement, my sweetheart. How do you plan your retirement? The time you are using to sell those wrappers, please don't use all the money to train your children. Let me quickly give some ideas on how you can plan your retirement. You can plan your retirement by setting up a small business. Yes, you can do that. You will not tell yourself, I want to get all the money in the world before you start up a business. No. Remember, it's called retirement. Set up a small business. You can also start up a poultry farm, maybe in your compound, maybe in your house. You must not look for a very massive land. You can start from your house. It's still a retirement plan. You can also start a daycare. Yes, you can do that. You can also use your house or maybe a small place close to you. You can also start a rental business. So when you equip yourself with some of these things, it's going to help you so that you will not be solely dependent on your children. I am not saying that training your children is bad. Please don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is don't use all the money. Save some, no matter how little. You can even start now to save for your retirement. Yes, nothing stops you from doing that. You tell yourself, I don't want to be a burden to my children. I want my daughter-in-law to enjoy her marriage. I want my daughter-in-law to enjoy her husband. So for that reason, look at the loopholes that people talk about in marriage. These are the things that daughter-in-laws complain in marriage. I want to change the narrative. I am beginning to do that. I am planning that already. Yes, even though I am not a mother-in-law yet, but I am a mother-in-law in the waiting. So I am also planning my retirement so that I will not be a liability to my children. I am not saying that my children will not come to my aid when the time comes. It's not what I'm saying. But do you know that right now, I'm even telling my children, even though they laugh over it, I tell my children that when I'm coming for Omugo, I am coming with a lot of things so that whatever I want to eat, I will eat. It's not when I want to take milk, they will be looking at me that I've taken too much. If you don't plan your retirement, it then means that what you are doing it for a reason. You are doing it because you are training your children so that tomorrow, they will pay you back. That's not how it is. A lot of times to mother-in-laws, as soon as their children get married, they will leave their husband houses and move into their children's house. That is not fair. I am saying this so that we will unanimously do something about it so that moving forward, daughter-in-laws will enjoy their homes. That is the message I'm passing. So these 3 points that I've mentioned now, please, you can go through it again. You can agree with me that these 3 points are germane, and you know that training your son or selling your wrappers, selling your land, is not enough reason for you to disturb your daughter-in-law. After all, it was not her fault that you had to sell your wrappers. After all, it was not her fault that you had to sell your building. After all, it's not her fault that you had to sell your landed properties. She only came to marry your son. So don't make that seat hot for her, because you are not going to enjoy her. But if you make things easy for your daughter-in-law, I tell you that you are going to enjoy her. You might not be wondering, am I saying that sons should not take care of their parents or should not take care of their mother? No, not at all. That is not what this video is about. But this video is about changing the narrative. This video is about things that you will be doing from now on, so that you'll be prepared to avoid being a bad mother-in-law, so that they will not tag you bad mother-in-law, so that when you call your son that you want to come visiting, your daughter-in-law will travel, so that when your son wants to get married, your daughter-in-law will be praying that you die before she comes in. It is happening. Let us not shy away from saying the truth. So don't rely on your children solely. Please get yourself busy. Plan your retirement so that you will not be a burden to your children. And don't wait for a situation where somebody will now say, between your wife and your mother, who comes first? Don't fall in that category. Because to be honest, your son's wife and yourself, both of you are very important in his life. So the issue of who is more important or who do you love more does not arrive at all. It's only when there are loggerheads that question comes up. But I plead with you, please go through these 3 points. Make use of them. It's going to help you. And I wish you, I want you, I pray that all of us become good mother-in-laws in the future. If this video has made sense to you, please give this video a thumbs up. In the comment section, let me have your thoughts. Yes, share this video. I want as many people as possible to see this video just like you have seen it, and then make use of the important points that I have just mentioned. Let us change the narrative. Let us unanimously do that, because daughter-in-laws, they ought to enjoy in their husband homes. Turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload a new video such as this, you'll be the first to know. I love you so very much, and I'll see you in my next video.